Turn me up a little bit. Gonna make them feel it. Make them 44 the rebel, nigga. Look. The key to survival is formality. And I ain't worried about my rivals, they just casualties. I bring his heart on the planet like Applebee's. Let him lose control, I bet his soul lose gravity. A beast, blood in my teeth, I got them all beat. Circulate that paper with my niggas like Black Wall Street. You know revenge, my love. Yeah. 2 twin Glocks and send your ass to sandstone like the Isley brothers. Better take deep cover. I make them clap back and forth like 2 wives that despise each other. Shit, get into that bag, got the refrigerator full of color. Hey, this that gun smoking gold butter. Handing these little things to my Lord, get a look to kill. I need a bad bitch that look Brazilian. If real recognize real, I should look familiar. Fire in my back in the lobby, I burn down the building. Back on that ass, in case these niggas need proof. They on my sons, I took them all to preschool. He and his feelings better be cool, cause I chew that beef up, show my tongue, now it's seafood. I brought that all to your burial, I'm the pallbearer. This my shit, I sit in the throne like a lawn chair. All fair, warfare, shit, Diamondback AR. Work that bitch like a guitar player. Turn down, fucking with home, fucking with home. Told me motherfuckers, they tell them niggas turn down. Told them boys, hold on, you playing with them. West Coast leader shit, you better tell them niggas turn down. Ain't it beautiful for that fire as usual? Hey look, hey tell them niggas turn down. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead. If it ain't that serious, why you hysterical? I survived when niggas died, it's a miracle. Took a loss, but payback's a bitch. She the love of my life, I make her sing like Erica. These niggas weak on the frail side, I leave them wetter than a whale ride. UPK Hellboy, bring the hellfire. If I can't get a piece of heaven, I'm on hell side. And in the end, I'll be undefeated, Lord, I promise. Shit, I bleed for the creed like Adonis. Cowards don't get acknowledged. You break the oath, boy, you know the price. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. I give what he wants. Better chill, chump. Run this shit like Forrest Gump. Cause you think I'm playing. Glock with me, that's my Jenny. No leg, yeah. 17 round roll on you like Lieutenant Dan. Turn down. What I'm saying? Told me, motherfucker. They tell them niggas turn down. Think I got glory coming. You think I did all this shit for night? You better tell them niggas turn down. Coward ass motherfucker. Hey, look, hey, tell them niggas turn down. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Niggas looking for the life. Me and my niggas prepared for the dog. You hear me? So we gon' get it on for the last days, nigga. You already know what it is. 140 for the rebel.
They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop off. I die for I let my colors fly, boy. For a nigga take me, they'll drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop head. Say he cool, he bad, he really so tough. They like, damn, look what he did, it really go rough. Little bitch think she Kiki Palmer, silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly though. From the city where they sing about that ribbon like Pet Pooch. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with me. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my feel the blade. Leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze on One West May. Watch your step get stretched like a limousine. So my brother bring that blade back wet, that's my enemy. A little nigga, this that cold, need to talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup, I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the build, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the bitch. Look, told them niggas get right or get live. You PK by mine, I pin to your flesh. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead man shit. Got the rate, the power, I been a showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the pain, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve out. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reeboks. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's one West practical, gladiator, maximum. Creep on them slow, but they Glock 5 rapid. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no cow, he gon' have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it all when it's on, it'll never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
Trying to get started. Y'all can hear me? Give me a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Probably sure. Let's see. Make sure I can hear myself. Y'all select, yeah? Most High in Christ. We're good to go. Well, Shalom Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shabbat to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Slakia. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Latha Shemi Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. Right? Well, let's just hop right into it. The title for today is that man, stand for the truth or fall, man. What does that mean? How does that sound to the naked ear? To the naked, well, what does that look like to the naked eye? That's something that's kind of, everybody say stand for something or die for nothing. Well, I could be saying it totally wrong. I don't know. But the point is, if you in this truth, man, stay grounded. Stay grounded, man. I mean, it only gets better from here because here in America, I mean, what standing for America has never, made our lives any better than what it is now. I mean, look at us, man. How could you say that we live somewhat of a decent life? And even if some of us do, they're not trying to share that with us. They don't really tell us how to get, in that type of position or that type of money that they're receiving. Because I mean, it's a lack of integrity. Everybody say, what I had to get, I had to grind for. I had to do this, I had to do that. Well, let another brother or sister know how to get there. I mean, stand on what you say. That's what I'm saying. Stand on what you mean and mean what you say, man. The Lord said, let your nay be nay and your yea be yea. Meaning, if you're going to say no, let it be no. But if it's a yes, keep it that. If it's going to be a yeah, I'm sure I'm in here. Make sure that you're really grounded, right? And first precept we're going to get to today, right? We're going to dive right in. It's the second book of Timothy, chapter 2, verse 3. It's like it, y'all. Right? This shows us that life ain't easy. Life ain't never been easy. Especially when you decide that you want to follow after this Bible, man. When you decide that you want to be in the truth, you want to follow after Christ, you got to understand the stipulations and the consequences that come with it. We talking about enduring today, right? Not necessarily the consequence, but the consequence of not enduring, right? Is falling. That's why the title is titled Stand for the Truth or Fall, right? Because without it, man, we don't fail. All right, and that's simple enough to explain because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Lord's chosen people. And that's in this Bible. This Bible is our constitution. Let's show you how to endure in this truth, man. Let's let's understand what our mission really is. How do we, stand for something and make sure that we, grounded in there. Salaki, y'all. Let me get there. Now let's give a shout out to the chat. Salaki, y'all. All right, we got Sister Nashima. We got Sister Sapayar and Sister Kamawada. We got Sister Takwawama, Salakia. Sister Matana, Sister T. All right, Shalom, Salakia. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Letaba Shem Yahushai. All right, we also got what's this? Elder Charles, Brother Charles out of Jacksonville. Yeah, out of Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. All right, Salakia, y'all. We also got Priest Officer 50 Hawan. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. Salakia, y'all. But as I said, man, it takes courage and real meaning of when you say something. You got to make sure that you mean it, man. You got to make sure you're saying exactly what you're trying to say and make sure you get the point straight across. Because if you don't, they're gonna think you a joke, man. You don't want to be called a joke. You don't want to think you funny or going through a phase. Because in the Christian church, they go through a phase all the time. They be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to church on Sunday, and then I'm gonna feel good about myself. That's just a phase, man. And let me break it down further for you, right? So when they go in the Christian church, they hooping and hollering, yelling and screaming. It says that they say that they feel good when they do things like that, right? Or they might be going through something and they're like, oh, I can't wait to get to church. As soon as they get to church, all of their problems go away. Right? That's just a phase. And then when they get home, they right back to whatever the world had for them, they right back doing it. They right back in it. Like they never left, right? Let's dive in, right? This is the second book of Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3, right? Thou therefore endure hardness. Right? What is hardness, man? Timothy said, endure, right? Long suffering. Endure this, endure hardness. When troubled times come upon you, man, don't be so quick to just dismiss it. Sometimes it's okay to go through that hard thing that everybody want to run away from. Everybody want to run away when times get hard. How about you sit in it and bask in what's about to happen? Maybe it could be a good thing for you. It's okay to sit in the dirt sometime, right? Everybody's so comfortable with just running from their problems. How about you get to the foundation of it? Suffer a little bit, suffer a little while so that you can understand what the suffering is for. Right? Slagia. As a good soldier of Jesus Christ, Yahushua in the Hebrew, right? As we all know, there's 12 disciples that Christ had. He rode with him everywhere. They endured a very hard time. And so did Christ. So you telling me you can't endure hardness? You can't go through the things that you say you want to do it. You say you want to live for Christ. You say you want to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. But are you willing to sacrifice your life? Are you willing to go through that hardness to endure what they endured? Like, are you really sure you want to, come in here? You sure you want to, follow after this Bible? Do what Christ did? Teach what Christ taught? Is that something that you sure you want to do? Because it says endure hardness as a good soldier. You know what a good soldier does? They follow orders, man. And here we follow orders. We can have right. Prison Officer 50 said, Hawan Salakia, He said, "Embrace the suck." Exactly, man. Sometimes it's a terrible thing to fear such, to feel such a overpowerful feeling of being suffocated. Sometimes it's okay to have to feel some type of weight on you, because sometimes it's not always about you. It's not always about what makes me feel good. Sometimes it's better, if you go through that hard thing, then you may see a brother, he might be going through the worst thing, or a sister, she might be going through something worse than you. Always remember to look upon your people. Sometimes you have to be selfless, because you could be doing something better for them, just as Christ did for himself. So, like, not for himself, but for us. In the same way the disciples did it. They endured a very hard time. They followed orders and had a very hard time doing it. And I can prove it in this Bible, man. I can prove it straight out of this book, right? Enduring hardness it's a hard thing, because everybody wants to run from, something that pains them. They want to get away from it, right? Officer Juan said, "Being selfless gets you further." Exactly. Exactly, man. Christ got exalted, put on honored. He got the glory, right? Because he was selfless enough to atone for our sins, right? A very hard-headed people. As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we always want to get away from everything, right? Even Christ himself said he wanted to pass the cup, man. But Christ understood what the mission was. He followed that order. You can do the same thing. All right, let's read on. "No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life." Man, meaning life is about warfare. Meaning it's a spiritual war. That our battles are not carnal. That's what it. This is what this is. Our battles are not carnal, man. Sometimes it's spiritual on how to, the things that we war with on a day basis. It's spiritual, man, because we live in a world where darkness is very easy to access. It's like right there, right here, on your phone, right here, very easy to get to. You could be in any and everything that you want to do just from the click of a button. The world is wicked as look. The world is wicked as hell, man. How about you endure the hardness of being in the truth, learning how to be selfless, and be a good soldier for Christ? Right? Let's read on. "That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier." What are we in this truth for? What are we in here for? What is the purpose of us being in the school, in the teaching the truth? What's the purpose of it, right? The purpose is to be a soldier for the Most High, so that we can get the kingdom. Because some of our people only know how to be weak. Let's stand for those who cannot stand and won't stand up, right? Because if we don't, who will? Who's gonna stand for us when we fall? No one. But the Isupk has. Nobody ever lended a hand to us, and unless they saw it beneficial. That's the only reason they did it, and still put us in the bottom. Still ran over us like an animal in the street, man, like roadkill. You tell me what that sounds like. That doesn't sound like, being here in America has taught us how to stand for anything. It showed us how to run each other over. Right? Let's read on. Salakia. Where do we leave off at? Verse 5, right? "And if a man also strive for masteries," right? Masteries meaning a high tier, high rank, or a position, right, of power, right? "Yet he is not crowned," meaning you doing work, but you ain't getting crowned for it. You ain't getting the glory for it, not being honored. Let's read on. "Except he strive lawfully," meaning the only way that you're gonna get some type of recognition is if you doing it the right way, meaning following these law, statutes, commandments, man. That's the only way to endure in this world. That's the only way to, to get recognized by the Most High, get recognized by Christ. That's the only way to do it, man, is to endure the hardness, right? And understand what it feels like to, be under pressure. Everybody want to get away from it. Sometimes pressure is good for the body. Sometimes your body needs, some type of obstacle in a way to show you that you are strong. You are not weak. Right? It's a lot here. All right, let's go to the book of Colossians. All right. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to Colossians. Let's get Colossians right fast. Right. We're gonna go to the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23. All right. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23. Slakia. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, meaning do it wholeheartedly, man. Wholeheartedly. Make sure that you're doing exactly, what you're trying to do. Make sure you're not doing it for a vain glory. Right? For nothing. You're doing it for yourself. Make sure you do it wholeheartedly, meaning make sure you mean exactly what you're about to do. And don't do it for nothing or for the clout or just, just for, like I said, vainglory. Right? All right, Salakia. We got a precept in the chat. Salakia. Officer Hawan said, therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. That's just what I pulled. 2 Timothy, same precept. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Right? Let's get this here, right? This book in Colossians. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord. Meaning, do it as if the Lord told you to do it, man. Do it like the Lord is looking down upon you and saying, get this done. Make sure you complete this order. Right? Do it like the Lord gave you the order to do it. Right? Let's read on. And not unto men. What I just say, man, not unto men. Meaning, make sure you doing it as if, like the precept said, as if the Lord is looking down upon you. Make sure you do it correctly. Right? And not for men's glory. Not in the faces of men. Not in the faces of people. Because, it only looks good to them, but does it look good to the Lord? That's what you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, is what I'm doing a good thing for people, or is it good for the Lord? Because a person tell you, yeah, eating pork is, wonderful. It's great. It's good for the body. But did the Lord tell you to do it? Did the Lord tell you to eat pork? Or to celebrate any type of holiday? Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Thanksgiving. Did he tell you to celebrate those holidays? Right, those things don't exist, man. That's a fairy tale. The Lord didn't tell you to do that. The Lord told you to endure. Understand that this Bible is for us, and be a good soldier of Christ. If Christ didn't teach it, you shouldn't be celebrating it. Simple, right? Being outside of this world is a hard thing, but it's easy when you understand. People make things hard when they don't understand the whole point of the mission. The mission is to get the kingdom, to understand that a better life is there for you. You just got to go out there and work for it. You got to work for what you want. Endure. It's hard out here in this world. It's not easy. Nobody ever told you life is going to be easy. It can be easy, though. You can make it easy. That's by following this law, man. When you got brothers and sisters around you that's keeping you up, understanding that this law is for us. And I keep bringing up the law because without brotherhood, which is a commandment, you wouldn't have anything, right? You wouldn't have nothing. You wouldn't know how to endure because you'd be doing it for yourself. If it hurt me, I'm gonna leave it alone. But enduring hardness, you become selfless. In this truth, anyway. In this truth, sometimes it's a hard thing to take care of a brother, but you're gonna do it gladly. Sometimes it's a hard thing to go to your brother and tell him you offended me, or to your sister you offended me. That's a hard thing to do, but you're gonna do it gladly in here. Why? Because that's the point of enduring hardness as a good soldier, as Christ did. Stand for something or fall, man. You either gonna stand on this truth or you're gonna fall out of it. Right? Salakia. We got something else in the chat. Officer Juan said, well, he dropped a precept. This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Meaning, how do you make your election sure, man? Make sure you're doing the right thing. Make sure you're not slipping and falling. Let your yay be yay, man. If you're going to say yes and be in this truth, then you make sure that you're in here. Make sure that you ground yourself in here. Don't be like, oh, man, that pork smell good. I want to get a piece of pork today. I want to go smoke some weed. I'm not feeling like myself. Then you was never in here. You were never a part of the body. Nobody looks at it like that, though. Right? Let's read on. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall, man. You shall never fall if you up in here, man. You ain't gonna fall if you ground yourself, man. Make your election sure, as the precept said. In this truth, life don't get easy. It gets harder because now you have any and everything in your way to make sure that you don't. To make sure that you don't stay in here. To make sure that you want to go out in the world. You want to do what you want to do. Right? Can't be lukewarm, as Officer Juan said. Man, you're gonna be hot or cold, or the Lord gonna spit you out. And that's just how the Lord works sometimes, man. Lord said his favorite landmass is a pit. Anybody know why the Lord like a pit? Does anybody know out there in the chat? Because he like to throw people in it. He like to put people in the ground. The Lord is a gangster, man. Endure or fall. That's what that's the whole topic of today. Stand on it. Stand on this truth or fall. You can die in the world or you can, live forever in here. Think about it, right? Let's read on. Verse 24, right? For those that, I don't know if anybody just joined or anything, in the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. If you break this law, if you out there doing any of every mischievous thing in the world, because you feel like, oh, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me, the Lord gonna catch up with you, man. The Lord catch up with people. And I don't know if you've seen it, but we all know about a lot of Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon, Egypt. The Lord catch up with you, man. So make sure you doing the right thing. Make sure you don't fall. Make sure you on top of everything that you're supposed to be doing, so the Lord don't punish you for the wrong that you have been doing. Right? Matter of fact, there's a precept I want to get just to nail it. Put the nail in the coffin, right? That's lucky, y'all. Let me get there. Right? Salakia. Salakia, y'all. Give me 1 second. Mm, here we go. Is this it? No, that's not it. But just for the time, right? It says no man knows the end of a wicked man. I mean, his life could be so great. He could be wicked as hell. He could be wicked as ever. And it just seemed like everything is just good for him. Don't nobody know his end, man. You don't know the end of the wicked person. Why? Because the Lord may allow him to live. But you don't know how he's gonna go. You don't know how his how he got the things that he got. Maybe you know that he's an evil man. You may know these things, but nobody knows the end of a wicked person because he could live forever, or he could die in a snap of a finger immediately. That I can't say. Living in the world, you see exact judgment right there. You see it continuously, right? Let's get back into the topic though. Right, let's read on. And there is no respect of persons, meaning anybody can get it, man, with the Lord. Anybody. The Lord don't care for you. The Lord just needs you to, he really don't need us. He raised up the rocks to do the job that he wants us to do. That's what he said. But enduring to this truth, man. Understand that this Bible ain't for everybody. Understand that enduring this truth is not for everybody. Understand that the world is against you. Right? It don't want you to endure. It don't want you to live forever. Because if you did, that kingdom fallen. It's already fallen. But imagine all of us get into this truth, right? Imagine all of us just come together and understand that this, the only way to make it out of this hellhole is to be to Salakia, is to prefer one another other than everybody else. Enduring with each other because nobody ever endured with us. Everybody want to get rid of us. How about we bring ourselves together? How about that? Life becomes easier when you got somebody that's going through the same thing that you're going through. Why you may say that? Because you know his struggle and he know your struggles. So now that y'all can work together, things become lighter. There's no more weight on your shoulders. Because you're thinking about the next brother. Oh, this brother's going through such and such. But I'm going through this. I'm cool. This brother's going through hell, though. I'm going to be right beside my brother. Endure with him. Do that. And learn how to endure with each other. Right? Before you dismiss each other, or before you dismiss, your suffering. Because sometimes, like I said, it's okay to suffer. It's all right. Learn how to be, learn how to sit in the dirt. That's all you got to do. Once you learn how to do that, life becomes a lot easier. All right, let's go to the book of James. All right, chapter 1, verse 12. All right, Salakia. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. What does that mean? Somebody break that down for me in the chat. Right, I'll read it again. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. All right, Salam. Like we got some new people in the chat. We got Trooper Quad Bar, and we got Sister Red. Shalom Yahaba Shimi Abshabrakatah. Shalom Yahaba Shamalata by Shimi Abashai. Right? I'll read it from the top one more time. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Meaning, man, you're going through something, right? Let's give a scenario. Can't pay your let's say. Right, you got an eviction notice on your door, right? You don't know how you about to play this, how to pay, to stay in your home, or your lights or your water about to get cut off. right? I mean, it's gonna be hard. Life is not easy, right? It's like it. Or you may have some type of affliction going on with yourself, right? You don't know how you about to get out of it. Suffer it. Suffer that pain. So like I said, it's okay to sit in the dirt. It's okay to be alone. Meaning, you can suffer by yourself, but understand that you have brothers with you. So reach out. But sometimes your battles are meant personally for you. Right? As we don't. Salakia. Oh, Salakia. Let me hone in onto the whole first part of this precept. Salakia. We got Chuba Bar. He said you're going to get tested more than often. Right. Exactly. That comes with this, that comes with the truth, right? But it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Meaning the Lord might, have, like as Job, as Salakia, as Job was tempted, right? As Job was tested, Satan does attack, but Satan sees you as something that he don't want to give up to the Lord. That's what that looks like, man. Blessed is he, meaning you being tested, man, just to see if you come out as gold. If you can make it through the fire, you'll get blessed for it, man. Right? Let's read on. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, man. Meaning when you make it through that struggle, that pain, that suffering, man, you'll have a crown on your head, man. You'll feel better about yourself. Right? You'll know that you can make it out. Why? Because the Lord provided a way for you to get out of that situation. Right? Let's read on. Which the Lord have promised to them that love him. Meaning, if you keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, you endure until the end. Make sure that you make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure that you are doing what the Lord told you to do. I mean, don't go astray, man. Going astray gonna lead you nowhere but into hell. We already living in it. It's just going astray gonna lead you into deeper pits, deeper holes. Right? You just gonna do nothing but keep falling. Stay on that straight, narrow path, man. Stay on it. Because without it, I mean, where would we be? How would life feel with, when you inhale? It hurts, it burns. But be grounded, man. Be grounded. Learn how to be, suffer that hard thing. Suffer it. It's okay. Right? Let's read on. Let no man say when he is tempted, man. Oh, the Lord tempted me. The Lord doing this to me. Everybody say that. Everybody say the Lord is hurting me. It ain't the Lord that's tempting you. The Lord don't tempt, man. Right? Let's read on. Let's just to prove what I said, right? Right? I am so like let's start it from the top, right? This is verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. The Lord don't tempt, man. Oh, the Lord is tempting me. The Lord is coming against me. Right? Let's read on. For God cannot be tempted with evil. What does that mean? Lord ain't gonna put nothing evil in front of you, man. Because you want to go smoke weed, you want to go, sleep with whores, you want to, go out into the world and unalive people. You want to do anything in the world that, is an evil thing. That's what you want to do. Right? And I keep saying you, but you'll get the point, right? Salakia. All right, let's read it from there one more time. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. Meaning the Lord ain't gonna set nothing evil in front of you. Right? Let's read on. Verse 14. But every man is tempted. What that a contradiction? Is this what this is saying? No. But every man is tempted, right? Let's read on. When he is drawn away of his own lust. You tempt yourselves, man. When that thing that you want so bad, just get it right in front of you, like, oh, I can't handle it. You can endure. Make your election sure, man. Make sure that you are doing what's needed to be done, man. All right, so like it, y'all. Make sure y'all get them likes up, man. So like it. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah. We got young man my G in the building. Right? Understand that this is something that's going to be in your face all the time. Things that you've done in the past and that you just couldn't get away from until you got some type of understanding or until you came into the truth. You came into the Isupk and understood that the things that I wanted to do, the things that I lust for, was the reason why I got in trouble. It was the reason why I went to prison. The reason why I was poor or strung out on drugs is because of the situations you put yourselves in. Right? A man is drawn away by his own lust. Right? Let's read on. Right? And enticed, meaning that thing looking so good to you. It looked great. You just thinking about it. Oh, it's just sitting on your mind, man. Till you get enticed enough to do that evil thing. That is your lust. You're lusting after something that you know is wrong. But you get enticed by it and you fall. Right? When you start to get enticed, that's when you pick up the phone, man. You pick up that phone and you call any brother in the school or somebody to talk to make sure that you do not get enticed. You are not drawn away by that lust that you feel in your soul, in your mind, that you hearing. Yeah, you could do it. You good. Ain't nobody watching you. You straight. Just hit the blunt one time. You good. You straight. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Ain't nobody gonna see it. Ain't nobody gonna know. Somebody gonna know, and you gonna fall because it's gonna hurt. I'm like, damn, ain't nobody was watching me, and I'm good. I can smoke all the weed I want. I can do whatever I want to do. Remember, the Lord is always watching. The Lord sees everything. Right? Let's read on. Verse 15. Then when lust have conceived, meaning when that lust, it's just building up. It's conceived. It's already thought upon. Right? Let's read on. He bringeth forth sin. What does that tell you, man? Right, Sister Nashama, she said, we do things to ourselves. Right, sis, we do. But we don't look at it like that. We always got to put the blame on somebody. That's just what we got to do. You got to put the blame on someone because it can't be me. I ain't doing this to myself. What you are doing it to yourself. That you are doing. You are harming yourself. You are the one that's telling yourself it's okay to smoke weed. It's okay to eat pork. Right? It's okay to sleep with my brother's rib. That's what you're telling yourself. Once that thought is already, conceived in your mind, here comes the sin. Right? Let's read on. It bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, right? When that sin is already done, we already done hit that blunt. You already done ate that pork, right? You already, try to entice your brother's rib. Of course, we don't do that in here, right? Let's read on. It bringeth, Slakia, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Man, you don't curse yourself, man. You don't put yourself in the dirt. Why? Because you let lust take over something that you should not have been doing. You let that lust take over your spirit, your mind. And that demon, what that demon tell you? Man, you good, man, you straight. Let me tell you something. When a suicide victim, right, decides that they no longer want to be here, right? Say this suicide person decide they set themselves on fire, or jump off a building, a cliff, or shoot themselves. You know the first thing that they do as soon as that mission happens, when a person tries to tie up a noose and unalive themselves, right? The first thing that they do that's hanging, they kick and scream, right? Because the demon has enticed them to do that sinful thing. The demon has enticed them, right? The person that's about to jump off a building or a cliff, he cool once he's thinking about it. But as soon as he jump, he's going to scream. Why? Because that demon left, right? The demon enticed you to do any lascivious thing that you wanted to do, any lust that you have in your heart, in your mind, right? To do that evil thing. And then that's death, man. That's death. Pick up the phone and call somebody, get some counsel. Understand that you are not alone, right? Endure that pain, though. Endure it, but also endure it with your brother. Don't be alone, right? Let's read on. Verse 16. Do not err, meaning don't err, man. Don't go off this straight path, man. Right? Don't go back into the world, but ground yourself deeper into the truth. That's what you need. You need somebody that's around you that's gonna keep your head up. Right? Let's read on. My beloved brethren. Meaning, man, if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, we go on these corners every Saturday. We teaching these classes Monday through Friday to tell our brothers and our sisters their transgressions, to make sure that they endure, right? To make sure that we are the ones that's making sure that they are okay at the end of the day. Somebody got to pick up the phone. So a brother might be going through hell at home or hell in his mind, but he knows that he got brothers that he can lean on, that he can endure the pain with. Right? Let's get some more. Right? So, like here. Let me see. Feel free to y'all can feel free to answer Salakia, to ask any other questions. I'll do my best to answer them to make sure y'all are satisfied with your answer. All right. Salakia, y'all. Let me pull up my notes. Oh, that's the precept I was looking for earlier. I believe it's in the book of Psalms, y'all. The end. A man. Salakia. This is not it, y'all. Salakia. Here we go. Here we go. The thing is, this book of Psalms. All right. Verse, Salakia. Chapter 1, verse 6. All right. I believe this is a precept I was looking for earlier. Right. Let's go. We're gonna go to 5. We're gonna read verse 5, right? Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, man. What does that sound like? Sound like if you in sin, man, if you know you in the wrong, you know doing anything in the world that goes against his Bible, against God, man, you can't stand with the righteous, man. Your spirit gonna get riled up when you get around some righteous men or some righteous sisters. You just gonna feel terrible. Oh, I just feel so uncomfortable. Why? Because you are the sinner. You are the one that's not making sure that you on top of everything that you can make sure that you are on top of, right? Salakia Trooper Choir Bar says, Salakia, does the Feast of Tabernacles start this week? Salakia about that. I am not exactly sure, but I can definitely get the answer though. I can get the answer. Just give me a minute. I see what I can find. Salakia. Not find, but I can get the answer. As far as right now, I won't be able to. I can get it after class though. Just um yeah, just hit me after class and I'll get you the dates. Trooper Choir Bar Salakia. Right? Verse 6. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, meaning the Lord know exactly, the way of the righteous. He knows what makes a man righteous. He knows what makes a man right, a good man, right? Let's read on. But the way of the ungodly shall perish, man. Meaning you out there in the world, you want to be, celebrating Christmas, smoking weed, not following after this Bible. Man, he said of the end of the wicked, right? The ungodly. Right? What is ungodly? Not following this Bible. It's like it. Oh, Officer Juan said he got it is October 5th to October 13th. Most High in Christ, the water. I appreciate that because I was about to get the dates. It's like it, right? That's what that's just saying, man. It's telling us, man, if if you wicked, you got any type of wicked way that you following after, and not by this Bible, not being righteous, not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, man, then you're gonna perish, man. You're going to die. Just to break it down very plainly, you die from the things that you do when it's not according to this Bible, when you're not, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, right? Those are the things that everybody, stray away from because nobody understands it. Nobody want to, not, follow after their own things. Nobody want to do that. Oh, I feel I want to do this. I want to do that. Let me tell you what the Lord will do to you if you're not paying attention, right? If you the one that want to do anything, right, that goes against the Lord, let me show you something. It's like it, right? We're going to the book of Isaiah, right? Chapter 66, verse 6. We're gonna go to verse 16, right? It's like it. Verse 16. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to 15. Just to break it down even further. Right? This book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. Everybody be like, the Lord gonna come with hugs and kisses. He can come down and hug everybody. Everybody gonna be caught up in the chariots. Right? Everybody can be saved. Like, let's read on. But before we read on, this is not what this is saying. This is the Lord is gonna come with fire. What does fire do? Fire destroys things, right? Makes it non-existent. Because if I set wood on fire, it's gonna turn to ash. The wood is no longer here. It's turned into another, molecule, right? I could be using it wrong, but Salakia, substance, same thing. But right, let's read on. And with his chariots like a whirlwind, right? It's like you see a whirlwind in the ocean. See that water spiral up, right? And suck everything with it. Take everything with it, man. Right, let's read on. To render his anger with fury. This don't sound like the Lord is coming back with hugs and kisses. That's what that don't sound like. Right? Everybody, y'all might be like, what's the point of this precept? Right? Let's read on. Verse 5. I mean, let's select it. Let's finish out 15. And his rebuke with flames of fire, man. Right? Let's read on verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. And in every nation on this earth, they're going to have to face the Lord, man. They're going to have to. With fire and the sword. Everybody may like, what does that mean? Who is that? Let me tell you who the fire is. The fire is the Israelites. The sword is Christ. Right? Let's read on. With the Lord, Salakia, will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And there's a lot of people that's gonna die in that day. Right? When the Lord cracked them skies, and you show you not enduring, you not standing on nothing. Oh, here you go. Hold this for me. Right? And what is that? I'm saying hold death. That's what I'm saying. Right? Let's read on. Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, meaning out in the open, man, in the beautiful things, in the good things that you're doing, or that you think you're doing, right? Pastor think he doing a good thing. All right, he sanctified himself. He tried to make himself so separate, so uphold like he's on a pedestal of some sort, right? Being Slakia behind one tree in the midst. And then you find you a corner. They even found him a corner in the midst of some field, right? Or somewhere, or inside somebody's building, somebody's house, right? Eating swine's flesh. They're out there eating pigs, man. Dirt, crap, trash. It's like it in the world. Man, that's a dirty thing, right? Pigs are dirty. Pigs are very disgusting, right? They wallow in mud. They eat trash. They'll even eat a person, right? They eat themselves, right? Let's read on, right? Eating swine's flesh and the abomination, meaning you any abominable thing you are doing, you are going against the Lord, right? And the mouse, even the small thing, you down to the nitty gritty of the creatures. Even the smallest things, right? Shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. Meaning when Christ come back and crack that sky, then you'll see what it really feels like to know what pain is. Why? Because the Lord is gonna bring something on you that you couldn't imagine what it is. The type of hurt that the Lord put on you is indescribable. But you can make your election sure. You can endure hardness. That you can do to make sure that you're not caught up in this. That's the whole point of this precept. To make sure that, man, you're not a hypocrite, man. Stand on what you actually gonna do. Mean what you say. And do it as if the Lord told you to do it, man. Like that's the whole point of the law, statutes, and commandments, is to make sure that you are on top of your life. Because your life is not yours. Right? Our life is not ours to live. All right? We're going to go to the book of Baruch, right? Chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. What is the book I'm talking about? The Bible. Right? I'm talking about the Bible here. And the law that endured forever. So all you Christian pastors, all you Christians out there that say that the law the law is no longer here. The law is done away with. Nobody gotta, you can eat pork, you can eat whatever, you can eat a cat, dog, mouse, a rat. You can unalive your brother because he looked at you wrong. He stepped on your shoe. We big for that. We step on a brother's shoe, he ready to take our head off. Right? We're looking at our sisters, for y'all looking at that sister like, ugh, why she got that on? Oh, I look better than her. Right? Y'all not enduring in this book. Y'all not in this truth. Y'all not reading your Bible. You don't read at all if you're doing those things. Because if you did, you would know that those things go against this law, right? And I'm saying it because your Christian pastors don't teach you that those laws matter. Being brotherly matters. Being sisterly matters. Nobody teaches you how to endure those things, though, right? But this law does. This law endures forever, right? Let's read on. All they that keep it shall come to life. Meaning, you'll find you find it such a beautiful thing to be, a part of the Lord, because now you're following after the law, right? But but such as leave it shall die. What are we talking about here? Stand on something or fall, man. That's the whole topic of today's class. It says stand on the truth or fall. Man, you're gonna fall if you don't do nothing right, man. And that right thing is to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So, like, y'all, I got one more precept. Well, I got tons of precepts, but let's go to where we going? We're gonna go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. All right. This book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. What's this talking about? Matter of fact, let's read verse 1, just to give the people some understanding. Right? Verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. Meaning they thought greatly of this building. They said it was so beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see, right? Verse 2. And Christ said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall be thrown down. Meaning, ain't no this building that y'all so proud of about, man. America. Everybody's so proud about America. So you got such pretty buildings, such nice things, right? It's stone ain't gonna be one upon another. It's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna be not one stone upon another brick. Everything is gonna be dust, right? Rocks. Let's read on. Verse 3. But he is Slakia. But as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? Meaning, when is this going to happen? He went to Christ, man. He like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. When is this thing going to happen? Right? And what shall be the sign that come, Slakia, the sign of thy coming? Meaning, when you going to come back, man? When is this? When am I gonna see this building fall? This world fall? When are we gonna see this? Right? Let's read on. And of the end of the world, right? Verse 4. And Christ answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, man. Meaning, make sure you're grounded, man. Don't fall into this folly that the world has for you to grasp onto. Why? Because it's so easy for people to be misled. There's a lot of good information out here, and there's a lot of misinformation at the tip of your fingertips. Always vet something to make sure that and what you following out there is the truth, right? And you're not being deceived. Make sure you're not being deceived into something that that could damn your soul, to put you more deeper into hell, right? Let's read on. Verse 4. Sluggy, we already read verse 4, verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. I don't know if y'all be on the internet like I be on the internet sometimes. I be seeing some foolish people on the internet like, yeah, I'm Christ. I've seen this one brother, right? He said that his uncle is Christ, Jesus of Nazareth. That's what he said, right? So I just asked him, where's the prophecies? What Christ said he's gonna crack the sky, he's gonna free his people. When is this gonna happen? You know what he told me? He said, it's still people that's living a wicked lifestyle, so it's not gonna happen yet. Well, I wish I could have asked him, what about the times of Noah? When Noah warned the people, right? Because didn't Christ do the same? Didn't Christ warn us? Right? Then he proceeded to say that he don't know what's going on, because I asked him, pull a precept to show that, to show when it's going to happen, to show that these things, is true. He's like, well, I don't know right now. Can you tell me? If your uncle is Christ, then you should be able to tell me. The whole purpose I'm saying this is because this precept says, many shall come in my name and say, I am Christ. But be not deceived, man. Salakia. And shall be deceived, because they want to, because they don't understand. Right? But don't be deceived by these things, because it's not the truth, man. It's not real. It's fake. Right? Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right? What is going on now? What is going on in the world? Right? Wars. War is happening right now as we speak. Right? Russia's going to war with Ukraine. Israel going to war with I believe it's Gaza. Right? Sending rockets back and forth to each other, blowing each other up. Right? That's how you know Christ is coming back, right? It's not here. Right, let's read on. Salakia, see that ye be not troubled. I mean, don't be troubled by these things when you hear there's war going on, man. When you know it's war going on, right? Don't be such an uproar about it. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so scared. Lord said, don't be troubled, man. For all these things must come to pass. Meaning it must happen. It has to happen, right? Let's read on. But the end is not yet. Even though there's wars in the earth is going into a pit of darkness. The end is not here yet. Meaning it ain't over. There's more to come. Right? It ain't over, man. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. What did I just say, man? Israel right now is trying to take over Palestine. Trying to take over Palestine because they feel like that's their land. And they over there causing a genocide. Genocide is not good. But that has nothing to do with us. Right, let's read on. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, man. The Lord gonna send some curses on this earth that's gonna shake up the world. COVID-19 shook the earth. Nobody talks about it. Well, we talk about it. Nobody really talks about, what does this mean? Like, why is this happening? Nobody talks about that. What's the purpose of COVID-19? Right? Let's read on. Verse 8. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. This is the beginning of something. It's just the start. Right? It's the start of, of the end. Right? Let's read on. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you to be afflicted. What does that sound like? Right? Let's read some more. And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations by my name's sake. Meaning, hearing this truth, man, you are sacrificing your life that any moment of time you could give up the ghost. That's what it feels like to be in this truth, man. sacrificing your life so that you can save another, but also knowing that you could be the sacrifice to save another brother's life. Right? Let's read on. Verse 10. Right? And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Meaning, in this world, man, there's a lot of things that happen. Everybody wants to trust everybody. You can't trust everyone. Right? In the world, I'm sure there's brothers that have trusted people and they wronged them. Right? They went right against the grain. Right? Let's read on. Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, meaning unjust, right? Shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, meaning the world is going to be empty of love, man. That's why it's only imperative that you love your own, because America does not love us. When has America ever showed us any type of justice? You know, any type of compassion? It never happened, ever. Right? Let's read on. Verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end. What is the class about? Standing on something or falling, man? Stand on the truth or fall. Lord says, he that endureth until the end of these things, right? The same shall be saved. Stand in this truth, man. Ground yourself. Make sure that you are you're doing exactly what you need to do. Stop looking back into the world. The world don't got nothing for you. Has nothing to offer but death. That's it. That's the only thing that's out there for us. There's another sword. It's another bullet. Another self-harm. Right? Those are the things that's there in the world for us. But in here, with Christ, with the Lord, enduring until the end, it's how you be saved. Meaning you stay on that straight gate, man. You continue to strive to keep the law. You continue to strive to do what pleases the Lord and not what pleases yourself. Because then that's where we mess up. That's when you fall. When you get such of a big head, you do something, that's good, and you let it go straight to your head. The Lord will take your life, man. And it may not be physical. It could be a spiritual. Fall right out. Fall right out the body. Enduring to the end, man. Make sure that you are doing what the Lord told you to do. Right? Salakia. Let's get some more. All right, we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes. All right, chapter 3. That's Salakia. Over it. Oh, we got Chuba Yazakar in the building. Shalom Yahabah Shemi Abashabrakatah. We got young man Jarrell. Shalom Yahabah Shemi Abashabrakatah. All right. Salakia, y'all. Let me get there. Right. So let me see. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 17. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to verse 17, actually. Right, yeah, verse 17. All right, this book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 17. Verse 16, Slakia. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. What does that sound like? It says under the sun. What's under the sun? The earth is. The earth is the place of judgment, right? That wickedness was there. Meaning there's wickedness in this earth, man. There's evils happening in this earth as we speak. Right? Let's read on. That wickedness was there. And the place of righteousness, meaning righteousness was also here in this earth. The law is being kept here in this earth, right? The Isupk has been standing since 1969 and has been teaching the law since then. You're like, what does that matter? Because without the Isupk, no one would know that they're an Israelite, if they're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Nobody would know. Right? Let's read on. That iniquity was there, meaning the unjust things, man. There's no justice here in America. There's no justice in the earth, especially for us. Especially for us. There's no justice. We don't receive any type of compassion, man. We don't get that from here, from Americans. Right? Whether they Black, white, Chinese, it really doesn't matter. Any type of justice, we don't receive that. Salakia. Right? Verse 17. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked. Meaning, you're going to get judged for your righteousness. You're going to also get judged for your wickedness if you're doing the wrong thing. If you're not following after this Bible, not keeping the law, you will be judged for it. But you also will be judged if you are keeping the law. If you are making sure the Lord is pleased with you, right? Meaning referring back to these records, calling for counsel, making sure that you are on the right track, right? Let's read on. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. Meaning what? The work that you do matters. It matters to everything. It matters for everything that you do, right? In that time, will you only understand that it really did matter. It really did mean something when I did this, right? Lucky, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can find this precept. So look, yeah, if I could get a little bit of help, this is a precept I'm looking for. Basically to sum it up, it says nobody knows the end of a wicked man. Right? The thing about today's class is that to endure until the end, to stand on something, stand on this truth, because without the things that that could lead you to live a better life than what you already live, right? To show you what righteousness is, to show you that you can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That's the only way to live. Because being wicked, doing it whatever we wanted to do, never got us the things that we wanted in life, but more hell. Lord may give you something, put it right in front of your face. You think, yeah, this is good. The Lord will snatch it right from you. Right? Where we going? We're gonna go to book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19. No, Salakia, y'all. We're not gonna go there. I don't know where we're gonna go. Matter of fact, that's where we're gonna go to. We can go to the book of Romans. All right, chapter 6. Where is it? No, it's not chapter 6. Here we go. I believe this is it, y'all. Romans chapter 7, verse 5. Yeah, this is it. Right, verse 5. For when we were in the flesh, right, the motions of sinners which were by the law did work in our members, bringing forth fruit unto death. What does this mean? What does this sound like? All right, because when you was in the world, when you was doing things that you wanted to do, things of the flesh, working all members in the mind and the hands and the feet, right? Run into what you want to catch plays, you want to unalive people, you want to rob people, you want to be a thief. All these things you got to think about it first. Then you start working with your hands. Then you start running to it, right? Walking into it, right? It brought death to you. That's what it did do, right? I'm gonna read some more, right? Book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 5. For when we were in the flesh, meaning in the world, man, when you was just dwelling, in the mind, right? Let's read on. In the motions, Salakia, the motions of sins, which were by the law, meaning you knew that you couldn't do these things because the law said that you couldn't do it. Law says you can't unalive people. Law says that you cannot be a thief. Right? Let's read on. Did work in our members. Right? In your fingertips, man. It's right there. All right? To bring forth fruit unto death. Right? Understand what that's talking about. Like I said, man, you want to do any and everything in the world except for follow this Bible. Except for stand on this Bible. Everybody is falling in the Christian church and the Muslim mosque. Everybody's falling in there. But when will you stand on the truth? When will that happen? Right? It's like yeah. Let's get where is it? Where we at? How much time we got? All right, got 40 minutes. Let's go to where's this is Zechariah. Let's go to where is it? That's not it. I think it's the book of Malachi. It's not it. Chapter 3. Okay. No, that's not it either. Salakia, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find this precept, y'all. Salakia. Where is it at? That's not it. Oh, here we go. That's what it was. Book of Joel. Well, Joel. Salakia. That's where we're going. All right, I'm going to go to the book of Joel, chapter 3. All right. Salakia. Going to verse 19. Is this it? Oh yeah, here we go. All right, let me show you what you get for standing on the truth. Right, this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be desolate, shall be a desolate wilderness. What is this talking about? Who are we talking about here? What's the purpose of today's class? Purpose of today's class is to stand on something or fall. Show you what comes with standing on the truth. Right? Egypt is America, and Edom is the oppressor. Right? And both of them shall be desolate. Right? That's what this precept just said. For the violence against the children of Judah, right? Because of the violence against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Lord is going to punish them for what they done unto us, right? But that comes with standing on it, right? Standing on the truth. Then you'll see this. You'll see this thing happen, right? Let's read on. Because they shed innocent blood in their land, right? Innocent blood, right? Children, brothers that's just trying to get to the store, try to make a living for themselves, right? I believe it was Run Brother. He was having a breakdown in the middle of the street, and instead of trying to help this brother, they decided to unalive him right where he stood. Well, he wasn't standing; he was sitting down, and they decided to take that brother's life, an innocent life, right? And the point of this precept, like I said, standing on this truth, you'll see the end of the oppressor. You'll see what the reward is from last class. You'll see what the reward is for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, to making sure your election is sure, right? Staying on that narrow path, right? And I'm gonna get that precept too, right? Salakia, verse 20. But Judah shall dwell forever, meaning we're gonna last forever, man. You stand in this truth, you keep the law, statutes, commandments, right? You don't go into the world, you will last forever. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, right? And Jerusalem from generation to generation. Salakia. Verse 21. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. Meaning the Lord sees our affliction, man, but he's also going to repay the oppressor for the things that he has done unto us. The things he has done to us is treacherous, man. The vicious things that the oppressor has caused us to go through, has put us through. Why? Because he saw a position to take for, right? So like it, Sister Martha, Nashama, she said, stand for something or fall for anything. Right. That's what I was trying to say in the beginning. That's exactly what I was trying to say, but it did not come out like that. But it's too wild though. Everybody understands that the mission of the Lord is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments so that you can get the inheritance. What is that inheritance? That inheritance is the kingdom, man. That's what that inheritance is, right? It's a lot here. Right, we're gonna dive right back into that, making sure your election is sure, man. Making sure your yay is yay. Making sure if you're gonna say no, make sure that you're gonna do it, man. Make sure that you do it right. All right, let's get to it. All right, book of Matthew chapter 7, right? Out here. Chapter 7, verse 13. All right, enter ye in at the straight gate. What is the straight gate? Why is Christ saying this? Why is Christ saying enter ye in at the straight gate? Right? Christ is the gate, by the way. Christ is that straight gate. Right? For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. That Christian church is going to lead you to destruction, man. Anybody can get into that Christian church. I'm sure y'all been seeing the things that have been happening on this earth when it comes to Christianity. I'm sure y'all have seen it. I'm sure y'all have seen the atrocities that America has put upon this people. Trying to, and trying to stand with the people that don't love us. Even if it's not against us, it's against their own people. Because I'm sure y'all have seen that oppressor that decided that he's going to set the church on fire and send some shells flying throughout the building while the building is on fire. He's going to take some lives with it. Right? Let's read on. Salakia. And many there go in their act. Meaning it's a lot of people that follows after something that's going to destroy them. But they don't know that. Why? Because they make it seem so good. They make it seem like a good thing to be in the Christian church. Seem like, in always, the best thing for them is it's just to rob you. That's it. That's the only thing that they doing is to rob you, man. They're not standing on nothing. Christian church don't stand on anything but they own merit. They ain't standing with this Bible. They're not standing with Christ. That they're not doing. Right? Let's read on. All right, verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. Meaning it's a small gap. A little tiny space that you need to be on. It's just like a bridge, right? You walking on a bridge and it's water and there's fire. And it's this little tiny piece of, landmass that's in the middle. That's that straight gate. It's easy to fall off, but it's hard to stay on track. Right? Let's read on. Salakia. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. I mean, it's a small strand, like I said, that landmass that leads unto life, man. Right? And few there be that find it. Meaning it's few people that'll find life. That'll find what it feels like to live. But there's a lot of people that's going to know what it feels like to be hurt. Right? In order to get to where you want to be, you got to learn how to endure hardness. Be a good soldier. Follow orders. Understand what your mission is. Right? Understand that everything ain't always peaches and cream. Right? Salakia. I'm going to next. Salakia, y'all. Where is it? Not Romans, is it John? All right, because what is the purpose of standing on something, man? What is the purpose of it? Salakia. Here we go. All right. As I said before, man, if you're going to say something, mean what you say. All right. This book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever it is more than these cometh evil. Meaning, if you're going to say something, make sure it's a yea, a yes, or a no. Right? For whatsoever is more than these cometh evil. Meaning, if you're giving some type of excuse of why you saying yes or why you saying no, or just, an excuse not to answer just to give a simple yes or no, there's just excuses behind it. Right? This is an excuse of why you want to smoke weed. That's like me asking, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, I know, but nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear no buts. Nobody want to hear, if it's supposed to be this. No, it's supposed to be yay or nay. You're not supposed to be doing it, or like this is good for you. If eating paint is a bad thing for you and you're gonna end up in the hospital, you're not gonna eat paint. You're not gonna give some reason why you decided to eat paint. The point is, right, falling is where everybody tends to run from the issue. But staying in it, understanding what the problem is, comes out a good thing. Just like Job. Job went through hell. He endured until the end. He got a new family, a new wife, new cattle, new servants, new land. He also got better at the things that he did. Why? Because he endured until the end. He made sure what he was going through, he went straight to the Lord for it. Straight to him. So, like it, sir, I'm going through this. Of course, that's not what he said. I mean, I'm not sure what he said. Right? Sure. I mean, it could have been Salakia. Whole point is enduring until the end is the mission. Right? Stand on the truth or die. Endure or die. That's the point. Right? Salakia, y'all. We're gonna get 2 more precepts, right? We'll get 2 more. We're gonna go into the book of Revelations, chapter 21, I believe. We can go 21 and 2. Is that what I'm looking for? No, that's not it. Salakia. And all of these written down, but I can't find them at the moment. All right. Where is it? Yeah, we're gonna go to book of Revelations chapter. We're gonna go to here first. Chapter 21 and verse 2. Right. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Right? That's the inheritance that we look for, the kingdom of heaven. This comes with enduring until the end. That kingdom, right? You see New Jerusalem come down. See the earth become a quiet. Right? It becomes a quiet place for us. Because America has never been quiet. America has always been about unaliving us from the beginning. Right? From the native Indians to the Hispanics to the so-called black people. Right? Even to the all the way, it's spread all over the world. Why? Because we're spread thin. We got shipped to what? The islands, West Indians, right? Shipped to America, South America, England, right? New Zealand, all across the world, across the earth. We've been, right? Because we didn't know how to stand on it and we fail. Why? For not following these laws, statutes, commandments. Then we had curses put on us by the Lord. Why? Because of our disobedience. But let's learn how to be obedient. Right? Let's learn how to be obedient so that this won't continue, so that we can get the kingdom of heaven. That's what we look forward to. Right? Let's get the book of Revelations, chapter 5. Verse 10. All right. This book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. Right. Like I said, man, this is a reward. This is what happens when you stand on the truth and don't fall off. Right. Book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto God's and Salakia. And has made us unto our God, our power, kings and priests. Meaning the Lord sets a king over you. The Lord puts priests in the position that they are in. Right? Salakia. And we all know that Christ is our king. But we, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, are his priests. Why? Why am I saying that? Because the Lord because of the order of Melchizedek, we are all ordained as priests, right? Let's read on. And we shall reign on the earth, meaning we shall rule the earth for standing with the Lord, man. That's a reward. That's what that sounds like to me, right? It sounds like if we stand with the Lord, we'll receive something. We'll get that inheritance, right? We'll understand that this world has always been hell for us until we understand what the kingdom of heaven actually looks like and actually, stand 10 toes down in here and not, walking with worried feet, trying to worry about any and everything else that's going out in the world. Let's focus on standing on the truth, standing on your, on your 2 feet, right? Matter of fact, I got a precept right here. I just thought about this one. Salakia. It's in the book of Job, right? Salakia. I believe it's chapter 30. All right, Salakia. I think that's it. Salakia. Fourth chapter. Right. Here we go. It's the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 1. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, verse 2, Who is this that Salakia? Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? And if you don't got this knowledge of this truth, the knowledge of the Lord, man, you in darkness, man. Right? Verse 3, gird up now thy loins like a man, like a good soldier, right? That's what that sounds like a man to be. So like it, to have some type of integrity, right? To be a man, to stand for something, right? For I will demand of thee, meaning the Lord is he gonna question you. He gonna want an answer, right? And answer thou me, meaning make sure you answer truthfully, man. The Lord asks you of something. In this case, the Lord asked Job of something. He asked him, man, who is this? Who is this person that's giving, some type of wickedness into the world? Job got to answer that. He got an answer for that, right? Verse 4, where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. Meaning he asked Job, where you was at when I was making the earth? You know of these things? Right? He asked him to answer if he understood the question. Right? Verse 5, for who have laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or have stretched the line upon it, meaning the horizon. And it's giving you the description of how the Lord formed the earth, man. Verse 6, whereupon the foundations thereof fastened, or laid the cornerstone thereof, meaning this is giving you the foundations of the earth, man. Meaning the Lord is questioning Job, because Job came to him with a question. He's like, what's going on? And the Lord asked him, like, man, you don't have my thoughts. Just make sure that you standing on what you got going on. Make sure you are following after this Bible, man. Make sure you stand on something, right? Because without it, man, we're gonna fall, man. And we've always failed without the Lord, right? And with that, I'm gonna clip the class, right? Yahweh Shemi Awashad Barakatah to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Latah Bashemi Awashad to all the sisters. With that, Shalom, Israel.